Okay. So the big thing about Fusion 360 is we start with the basics of sketching. Obviously, I'll just saw that the picking between different planes and whatnot to start sketches on. The biggest thing about that you'll need is dimensioning. So if I make real quick just a center point rectangle like he does in the video, start it there, and I'm just going to click instead of setting dimensions. What you'll notice is that the outline of this is still blue, and that's because I have not defined my sketch at all. That means that if I wanted to, I could drag the edges, pull them, and change the shape. This is problematic in future modeling because it can create issues where you shift things around and your lines start changing. So the best way to fix that is you have to add sketch dimensions, which is just found by going under the Create tab, then clicking Sketch Dimension. From there, you can click on a line, drag up, go here, and input whatever value you want, such as that. And then you do the same here. So just say 60 for now, and you fully define your sketch. This is incredibly important going forward because a sketch that is not fully defined just isn't very good CAD. The best thing to remedy that is by making sure you have proper dimensions. Now, there are ways to over-dimension things, such as this. You can now see that it wants to do something different here. This is also a problem. So you have to make sure that you balance the number of constraints you have with the number of sides effectively. Okay, so do y'all all so far from that video understand just like basic sketching, how to make different shapes? Everything good so far? Okay. So now I want to show you some constraints real quick. Constraints can be found here under all of this, and these are very important as well. One of the most important ones I would say is coincident. This one basically takes your points and sets them equal to each other. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to just make a quick circle here. I'll make it centered because that'll be easier. And I'm going to place it over here at random. And I'll just real quick define my radius to be something small like 10. Okay. So as you can see right now, it's off to the side here, but if I want to put it in the center of this, the best way to do that is if I didn't initially place it there, go to coincident, you click on the center of this, then the center of this, and it will snap to the middle. And notice that also fully defined it because it placed it at a defined point instead of just sitting off in space. So from here, if I finish this sketch, it leaves me sitting with a value here. And from here, I will just do a basic extrude as y'all saw in the video. And I will just extrude that so we have the whole 40 millimeters is fine. So there is a basic shape. From here, you may want to add on to this shape. And so in order to do that, if you continue sketching in planes, you can either go back to your basic front right top, or you can begin sketching along the sides of objects. So I'll sketch along this back side of this face here. And I will just make a quick, I'll just do another circle off of this. So you select your face, and then you can make another circle here. I will just say, let me define it real quick to be dimension. Radius of 15. Now, in this case, I also want to define this circle's position, and I won't be using a coincident mate. So what I would do is I have to specify distances from the center to each side. So in this case, I will do that the center is 20 millimeters from the bottom, and I'll state it is 25 millimeters from the side. So with finishing that sketch, I now have this. And if I wanted to extrude again, I can extrude just this, or I can extrude this side here. I'll just do 10 millimeters for now, just because this is not a terribly detailed object here. So does this all make sense so far? Just, yes, I will. Yeah, I've got it recorded, so I will post this later, and I'll probably just put a message in the new member chat for where to find it. Yes. Okay.
I literally like draw a circle, and then right after you hit the circle, you like center it and make extruded.
Okay. In that case, cancel that, sorry. So here is our object. I'm just going to, actually, I'll just leave it for now. Take it along this front side. If I want to create a sketch on this side, you click on the create sketch option here in the top. Then you'll click whichever side you want to create a sketch on. I'll pick this front side here just for this example. And this time I will create just a rectangle. I'll do a 2-point. So placing this anywhere along the side right now, because I can define it later. I just have a shape here now on this side of the object. I want to fully define it, so I'll go to sketch dimension. First, I want to decide to define how big this rectangle is along the side. Yes. Click on the create tab or the drop down, and it should be at the very bottom, I believe. Okay, so I'll figure that issue out with you. That seems to be specific to you. So for this, I'll just set random dimensions here of 10 millimeters. And sketch dimension 15 millimeters. So now in order to place this, you would go to sketch dimension again, pick whichever side you want here, and set it a certain distance from a different side. In this case, I'll be using the top, and I will place it, if it will load, 10 millimeters away. Notice that these sides are still blue, which means they're not fully defined. Which means I have to set their distance from a different side. In this case, I will do 20 millimeters. Are y'all? Yeah.
So I did let you do like stuff without it.
Yes, you can. It's just at that point, it would technically be able to shift around on the model. And that can be problematic for later modeling if you want to build off of things. Yes. So yeah, from here, this rectangle cannot move anymore. it has been set in this location, and now I can go on, if I finish the sketch, into things like extruding. So in this case, I'll just pull this out 30 millimeters. So we have this really pointless random shape right now. So are there any questions at this point? The extrude, you have, one moment. Back here, with this sketch, you would hit extrude up here. And then you would be able to select your shape. And you can input a value, or you might be able to have the drag and pull option as well. And from there, you would get back into this, which is what we currently have. So does that all make sense so far? Do any of y'all have questions over there? Or are y'all good? Perfect. Okay. So since y'all seem to have a grip on the basics, I want to let y'all just take a moment and try to design a Lego brick. Basically, make a cube, extrude 4 circles off the top, and then I will just be walking around and seeing if any of y'all need help. Yeah. So once you set that from here, we want to go see everything back. But you want to actually set go to the sketch. We want to eventually see that's in place. Oh, yeah. You can just play this. It's easier to get specific, but you can do that and then set other items. Just add that. Process. It's stuck for everything. So you're not going back to your step. To one. Say. Yes.
It's basically. Because everyone.
I would say.
It's, yeah.
Wait, I haven't heard it. Oh, yeah, I didn't look at it, but. Yeah, it's, I mean, it's pretty. Similar. But it's not-
Did you, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's actually never used. But I would tell her, oh, wait, hold on. Next one. Yeah. Oh, I think that.
You want to? Yeah, they're like. What's your words?
Usually I say, on like the. I think that was. Yeah. So you can just.
That, no, I love that, that comes to a lot. Top of you. Okay, that's all right. That would track them, start with the project, but they got working and like okay, it's all in the worksheet. Right. And you go to go through the worksheet. And it'll yeah. Exactly. It's fine. We're it's how to get that. Oh, yeah. It was great. It's that. Well, it's okay. Yeah. It was, and then I heard it was, and Didn't you? I choose it.
It would be set. Okay, real quick, I want y'all all to just get switched over to a more SolidWorks approach so I can help y'all out more. So in order to do that, click on your profile up in the top right. Go to Preferences. Give it just a second. It pulls up this big old thing here. In general, you can go to Pan, Zoom, Orbit Shortcuts, and just switch it over to SolidWorks. Then once you apply it, that just changes the way your orbit and everything works. You can just leave it on constrained orbit for now. Constrained orbit just sets it like around a certain axis for like what you can view. So for instance, if I just make a box real quick. Right there. So if I just do this, I spin around either the Y or the X or the Z, depending on how I just orbit. But y'all don't want to deal with that right now. Forms are a much more complex thing.
No, that was, I don't SolidWorks, so I don't. Well, yeah, do you have to?
Oh, you're good.
All right. So from here, I've been showing y'all how to sketch off of a plane made just simply with things like this. But now there are more advanced features we can do here. So these more advanced features, such as revolve or sweep or loft, require you to make a reference plane. So in order to do that, you'll have to go to construct. In this case, I'll just do a simple offset plane. Select one of these faces. And from here, you can offset a plane to sketch on. I'll just set it to 35 millimeters here. What this allows you to do is you can make new sketches on this plane specifically. And then you can use different features such as loft or sweep or something else to basically connect the two. So I'm just going to do a very brief demonstration of this just to show y'all. So now we have something like this where I have a sketch out on this space with this plane and this. This allows us to do different things with things such as loft. From here, you would select something like this to this, and it connects them. Right now, that's not the biggest, most important thing. What I want y'all to do is just practice making reference planes off of this. It's a very simple thing, but it's just important to understand how it works. So in order to do that, it's construct, offset plane, select a face or a different plane over here, and you can select its distance. You can make
Once you get I could do like that lots. I like to not, I'm gonna have to do this. Yeah. Okay. So. I did. Yeah.
Yes.
But once you get to wow,